about to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I normally would pop in before I do this part and talk a little bit about our week. Honestly, I did not get ready today, so I am not going to do that in this weekly check-in. And honestly, there's not a ton to go over. September has been going really well for us so far. We are definitely doing really well when it comes to groceries, eating out. Household, maybe another story, but there's nothing like super duper exciting going on for us so far. So that's always good news. One thing that I did want to mention though is I've talked about this in a couple other videos, but we have been kind of looking into a potential house, and I posted on Instagram yesterday about it, just saying like pray for us, and we got some really great news. The house that we were looking at is not up for sale right now. So we had to go in and basically get it valued because it hasn't been on the market for like over 30 years. So we had to get it valued, see if it was even in our price range, and surprisingly it was. And so we love the area, we love the house. It's very much a fixer-upper, but with some time and money, we could definitely make it exactly what we want, and it would give us the space that we like desperately need. So again, I'm not going to go into too much about it until we know more, but so far so good. Now we have to discuss everything that we found with the owners and see how they react, because we think that they were thinking that it would be valued a little bit higher, and so we're gonna have to discuss that with them and figure out a whole plan. But it's kind of a nice step because it means that like our plan is still kind of on, but we'll see. So I'll keep you guys updated. Again, I just wanted to quickly talk about that because that is one thing that has happened this month that is a good thing for us. We were really hoping that we would get some good news when it came to that, because honestly, without this house that we're, that I'm talking about, we have no ideas. Like, there's so much going on with the house market, and like stuff is just selling super fast. And if it wasn't for this one house, we may look at other states again. So anyway, we'll see. But let's go ahead and check in and see how we're doing. So I already wrote my categories. I always track groceries, eating out, gas for our cars, household, and then anything that may be unbudgeted. So everything so far is recorded in my monthly view. I've been doing a really good job about going through and adding in expenses as we go. So I'm going to start with groceries, and groceries, as you can tell from my little key, are going to be all the pink items. So I believe we only have 3 for that. I will have everything linked down below. I'll have my pens, I'll have my planner. Obviously my sticker shop is where all the stickers are from, so if you want to pick any of that up. So we have Target of $8.62, and I like to mark off or like do a little check mark as I'm recording everything for my weekly check-in. It just keeps everything in line, so that if I go back and I'm like, oh crap, I forgot, like I had a transaction on the 2nd that I didn't put in yet, I'll know, okay, I didn't record that yet because it doesn't have a check mark, if that makes any sense. So that's kind of why I do that as I go. So $8.62, we also have $45.98, and Aldi of $59, which brings us to a total of $113.60. $113.60. And what I budgeted for the month was $500, which brings us to $386.40 remaining. I'm gonna try and remember to zoom in. It's just hard because if I go back and forth between the monthly view, you guys aren't going to be able to see it. But anyway, that's what we have left. And then the whole reason behind having the remaining per week was really for groceries. So I'm just gonna take a quick peek at my monthly view. I have 1, 2, 3 more weeks left in the month. So that means that we have $128.80 remaining per week for the rest of the month. So that is great. What I try and budget for is $125, which means that we're obviously under budget. We do have some birthdays coming up, so that means that we're going to be buying cakes and stuff like that. So that will definitely add a little bit to our budget, but it seems like we're in pretty good shape there. The other thing that's interesting is in August, we were buying Macy's lunch at school, and then we kind of were asking her questions about like, oh, what are you getting and all of that. And she just didn't seem like she was getting fruits and vegetables, which is something that's really important for us. Like, we really want her to make sure she's having balanced meals at school. And I don't know if it was that she was getting them and she just wasn't eating them or whatever it may be, but we started packing her lunch, so I kind of expected that our grocery bill would be a little bit higher, but we've been really good about choosing stuff that she enjoys and that doesn't add a ton to our grocery bill. So this is $113, including Macy's lunches for, entire week. So that's really great. And that also means that if you look at our budget over here, we did have Macy's lunch that I changed to $100, and that is going to be very little because we have to pay what we used in August, but we're not using it in September, so that's going to be quite a bit that we can save there. So anyway, we're in good shape when it comes to groceries. Now let's take a look at eating out, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the eating out items that we have. We've been really good about not eating out that often, although you probably see like a bunch of stuff here and there. So we haven't really been eating out for dinners a ton. It's more just kind of like snacks or just if we're like on the go, which is kind of what I always intended. I would rather have like a dinner, like a nutritious dinner at home. But this weekend, Jason and Macy went to Chestnut. That's like a mountain. A lot of people go skiing at Chestnut. We actually, Macy and Jason's parents went to Chestnut to do like the alpine slide. They had like a boat tour. It was just something fun for them to do. So that is what they did. But while they were gone, I obviously had some meals delivered. Me and Mila went and walked up to Dunkin' Donuts a couple days. And so that's what you see all here. That was honestly just had to do with, us, having more of like a travel weekend. I did forget, Jason actually got Subway one of these days, and I gave him cash for it because he used his own cash. I believe that was $10. I'm going to put that in because I took that out of our cash divider. And that's why doing this is really important, because it shows you when you forget something. Like that totally triggered, like, oh crap, I need to put that in. So anyway, let's record eating out. Again, we've had little things here and there, but nothing super big or expensive. So $10 for Subway. And then I ordered Uber Eats a couple times, so that was $15.54. I went to Dunkin' Donuts because that's something that I can walk to with Mila. That was $10 that I put on my card. Another $5.65 for Dunkin'. Uber Eats of $15.34. And we got White Castle on Sunday just as a fun thing. We have not had White Castle in probably not like years. Then we went up to Starbucks and just had like a nice little drink for me and Jason, and then he also picked up some Overweights for me, which was $6.65. So that actually brings us to quite a bit. That brings us to $87.19. $87.19, and we budgeted $200. So that's $112.81 that we have remaining. And again, this is one thing that I like to look at in terms of weeks. So we have 1, 2, 3 weekends left. So if I divide that by 3, that is $37.60 per weekend. So that's plenty. We'll definitely not even need all of that, but it's nice to have just so that we have some, time and a little bit of extra money to do something fun if we wanted to. In terms of gas for our cars, we have not filled up on gas at all, so that is going to be $0 here. And we budgeted $100, so we still have $100 remaining. We are obviously driving Macy to school, so that adds a little bit to what we need to fill up and stuff. So that's something that we'll kind of keep in mind. I may have to adjust that $100 to be more like $150 because we're driving so much now, but that is something that we'll keep in mind. In terms of household, we've had quite a bit of things going on. So we had $62.85 at Target. We've also had Costco $48.35, and then Jason picked something up at Walmart that was $4.21. So that brings us to $115.41. $115.41, and I budgeted $125, so that leaves us with $9.59. So not very much left, but we're in good shape. We did pick up laundry soap, which was the one thing that I thought we were going to need, so we don't really need to worry about that. I don't really think that there's anything else that we'll need, maybe toilet paper, but I think we're in pretty good shape for everything else around our house. In terms of unbudgeted, we did have one item that was unbudgeted, and that was part of their trip to Chestnut, so that was $45, and that honestly just included their tickets to go like up and down the mountains and stuff like that. So that brings us to $45 of unbudgeted, and hopefully that is not something that we have to worry about. Like, hopefully for the rest of the month we'll have nothing unbudgeted because $45 is not that big of a deal. But that brings me to, I'm going to talk about our sinking funds in just a second. I did pick up formula. We picked up formula, and I put anything that's like other, that doesn't really have a set color, in purple. So that was $38.98, and we budgeted $60. So I think we'll be in really good shape for that. So I didn't add any money to entertainment, and I haven't, I don't think, in a couple months, just because there's not really a ton to do outside, and inside for that matter. So entertainment is $0, but normally like going and doing stuff like what, you know, going to Chestnut and stuff, we would use our entertainment fund. Again, I haven't been putting money into there because I just haven't felt like we needed to do that. So anyway, that is why it's an unbudgeted item. As things start opening back up and we start doing more things, I'll probably add more money to that. But for right now, again, there's not a ton going on. And that was a totally like unexpected trip. So there's not really a good way to budget for that. In terms of sinking funds, we've had a lot of things go on. We had some tolls taken out. I moved all of the coffee money that I had for my little coffee fund into my Starbucks app because I'm not using my machine as often. I still have a ton of coffee, like the little capsules in my cabinet. I did pick up a bunch of clothes for the girls. You can see some here, Macy there. We picked up a Christmas or a birthday present for my nephew. Jason's been working on the fence again. We picked up some diapers. So we've had lots of things going on in our sinking funds. And I've gotten a lot of questions recently about how we deal with sinking funds and how we make sure that we have enough in the account. So when I was picking up the girls' clothes, for example, I wanted to make sure that I could pick up 12-month clothes for Mila and then also get 5 tea stuff for Macy because it's definitely getting chillier here and Macy doesn't have a ton of like long sleeves or like pants that fit her anymore. And so when I was going through, I basically just looked at what the current balance was. I would like add up the amount that I was adding in and I got an idea there. I do make sure that I check our sinking funds before I make any purchases. I definitely recommend that, and one easy way to do that is I take pictures of my like spreads so that I can make thumbnails, but I keep them in my phone so that like if we're ever out and about and I'm like, oh, how much do I have in the girl sinking fund for clothes, I can just pull it out, do some rough math, and I'll know how much I have. That is one tip that I recommend if you're worried about like having to buy something and use your sinking fund money and you're not sure if you have enough. That's one tip that I definitely would give because it saves me a lot. And it's not because I don't use it that often for this purpose, but it's just kind of an added benefit of making a thumbnail is that I have the picture already in my phone. And so that's definitely something that you can do, because when I'm going to Target, I'm not bringing my planner with me. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind. But that is pretty much it for September for the first week. We've been doing pretty well. I think we're gonna be doing great when it comes to groceries and all of the other categories. And I'm sure we'll have some more sinking fun stuff going on pretty soon, because I did pick up some more clothes for the girls, but I didn't put my Old Navy one in here just yet because I ordered some stuff for Mila and I'm not sure if we're gonna use it. So I don't wanna like record it and then have to like take money out and stuff. So anyway, we should be getting all of that by Monday. So we should be in good shape. That is pretty much it for this weekly check-in. I do have new releases for November coming up on Sunday, so don't forget, if you want to pick up stuff for October or the new stuff for November, definitely keep an eye out for that. On Saturday, I will be posting the new release video just so you can get an idea of what you want to pick up before they're released on Sunday. So that might be the new thing. I might release them on I might do the new release video on Saturdays instead of Sundays, but we'll see. I'll see how you guys like it and what feedback I get about that. But that is pretty much it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little weekly check-in. As always, let me know how you guys are doing. Are you guys having a good first week? I've heard a lot of talk about getting the stimulus checks, and I honestly don't know how realistic that is, but I know a lot of people are kind of already planning for that, like planning if they're gonna pay off more debt or pay off or start saving some more money or whatever it may be. I'm not banking on anything until we actually see it. That's kind of how I've always, what mentality I've always had. But I'm really hoping that even without that, if it's even a possibility, that we can pay off Jason's card this month. I'm really, really hoping that that happens, because I think we're in good shape. I think we could do it, but it's definitely gonna be something that we're gonna have to work on, like make sure that everything stays, you know, within budget and everything like that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know how you guys are doing down below, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know.